Students, this is Shweta Roy. This video is for Chapter 2, Part 1, Geography, Physical Features of India. In this video, we are going to discuss about the Himalayas and the northern plains. As you already know, India is a vast country. It has varied landforms. So if you will go to the plains, you will be familiar with the vast stretches of the plain land. Now the people living in the hilly region will be familiar with the rugged terrain with mountains and valleys. So you can see the people living in different areas, different landforms will have different kind of features. Our country, India, has all major physical features of the earth, which is mountains, plains, deserts, plateaus, and islands. Now, our country displays a great physical variation. Now, geologically, the peninsular plateau constitutes one of the ancient land masses on the earth's surface. Now, this peninsular plateau was supposed to be one of the most stable land blocks. But when we talk about the Himalayas and the northern plains, they are the most recent landforms. Now, the whole mountain system of Himalaya represents a very youthful topography. It has high peaks, deep valleys, and fast flowing rivers. Whereas the northern plains are formed of the alluvial deposits. Now, the peninsular plateau is composed of igneous and metamorphic rocks with gently rising hills and wide valleys. So you can see the different physical areas which we have different physical features. So we will discuss about this deeply. Major physiographic divisions. The first is Himalayan mountains. Second is the northern plains. Third is the peninsular plateau. Fourth is the Indian desert. Fifth is the coastal plains. And sixth is the islands. Here you can see in the picture the different physical features of India. We have Himalayas, we have northern plains. Then we have peninsular plateaus, Indian deserts, coastal plains, islands. Here we will discuss about the Himalayan mountains. Now the Himalaya is geologically young and structurally fold mountains which is stretched over the northern body of the India. Now this mountain ranges run in a west-east direction from the Indus to the Brahmaputra. Now this is the loftiest and one of the most rugged mountain barriers of the world. They form an arc, and this arc covers a distance of about 2,400 kilometers. Their width varies from 400 km in Kashmir and to 150 km in Arunachal Pradesh. So you can see it is wider in the Kashmir if it is compared to Arunachal Pradesh. Also, the altitudinal variations are greater in the eastern half than those in the western half. It consists of 3 parallel ranges in its longitudinal extent. Many valleys lie between these ranges. Now the northernmost range is known as the Greater or Inner Himalaya or the Himadri. And Himadri is the most continuous range consisting of the loftiest peaks with an average height of 6,000 meters. It contains all prominent Himalayan peaks. The picture of Himalaya. So we have Greater Himalaya, Middle Himalaya and the Lower Himalaya. And it lies in the north of the India. Now here we have some of the highest peaks of the Himalayas. So we have Mount Everest, which lies in Nepal. The height is 8,848 meters. Then we have Kanchenjunga, which lies in India, 8,598 meters. Then we have Makai, which also lies in Nepal, and we have that is of 8,481 meters. Then we have Dhaulagiri, that is also in Nepal, 8,172 meters of height. Nanga Parvat, which is in India, 8,126 meters of height. Annapurna, which is in Nepal, 8,078 meters. Nanda Devi, which lies in India, 7,817 meters of height. Kamet in India, 7,756 meters of height. Namcha Barwa, which is also in India, 7,756 meters of height. Kurla Mandata, which is in Nepal, 7,728 meters of height. Now, fold of the greater Himalayas are asymmetrical in nature, and the core of this part of the of Himalaya is composed of granite. It is perennially snowbound, and a number of glaciers descend from this region. Now you need to find out some of the facts. The number of glaciers passes that lie in the Great Himalayas. You need to find out the names of the glaciers and the passes, and the name of the states where the highest peaks are located. So do this one. Now the range lying to the south of the Himadri forms the most rugged mountain system, and that is known as Himachal or Lesser Himalaya. Now this ranges are mainly composed of highly compressed and altered rocks. The altitude varies between 3,700 and 4,500 meters, and the average width is of 50 kilometers. Now Pir Panjal range forms the longest and the most important range. The Dhauladhar and the Mahabharat ranges are also prominent one. Now this range consists of famous valley of Kashmir, the Kangra and the Kulu valley in the Himachal Pradesh, and this region is well known for its hill stations. So again you need to find out the location of Mussoorie, Nainital, Ranikhet from your atlas, and also name the state which they are located. Now the outermost range of Himalayas is called the Shivaliks, and they extend over a width of 10 to 50 km and have an altitude varying between 900 and 1100 meters. Now these ranges are composed of unconsolidated sediments which is brought down by rivers from the main Himalayan ranges. Now these valleys are covered with thick gravel and alluvium. Now the longitudinal valley lying between Lesser Himalaya and the Shivaliks are known as dunes. Now Dehradun, Kotli Dune and Patli Dune are some of the well-known dunes. Here we will discuss about the Himalayan mountains. Now the Himalaya is geologically young and structurally fold mountains which is stretched over the northern body of the India. Now this mountain ranges run in a west-east direction from the Indus to the Brahmaputra. Now this is the loftiest and one of the most rugged mountain barriers of the world. They form an arc, and this arc covers a distance of about 2,400 kilometers. Their width varies varies from 400 kilometer in Kashmir and to 150 kilometer in Arunachal Pradesh. So you can see it is wider in the Kashmir if it is compared to Arunachal Pradesh. Also, the altitudinal variations are greater in the eastern half than those in the western half. It consists of three parallel ranges in its longitudinal extent. Brahmaputra marks the easternmost boundary of the Himalayas, and beyond the Dihang Gorge, the Himalayas bend sharply to the south and spread along the eastern boundary of India, and they are known as the Purvanchal or the eastern hills and mountains. Now, they are mostly composed of strong sandstones, which are actually the sedimentary rocks. They are covered with dense forests, and they mostly run as parallel ranges and valleys. The Purvachal comprises the Patkai Hills, the Naga Hills, the Manipur Hills, and the Mizo Hills. So you can have a look of Mizo Hills in the picture. Have a look of Himalaya. Next topic is Northern Plain, and they are formed by the interplay of the three major river systems, which are the Indus, the Ganga, and the Brahmaputra, along with their tributaries. Now, this plain is formed of alluvial soil. The deposition of alluvial in a vast basin lying at the foothills of the Himalaya over millions of years formed this fertile plain. And this area spreads over an area of 7 lakh square kilometer, and it is 2400 kilometer long and 242 to 320 kilometer broad. Now this area is densely populated. It has a rich soil which cover combined with adequate water and favorable climate. Also, it is agriculturally a productive part of India. Now, the rivers coming from northern mountains are involved in depositional work. Now, due to gentle slope, the velocity of river decreases in the lower course, and it results in the formation of riverine islands. Majoli in the Brahmaputra river is the largest inhabited riverine island in the world. Now, in the lower course, these rivers split into numerous channels because of the deposition of silt. And these channels are known as distributaries. So, if you will go to the feature of the river, you will find that river is divided into three parts. The upper course, the middle course, and the lower course. So in the upper course, it starts from mountain, the origin of the river, mountain area comes in the uppermost, then it comes to plain. So the plain area will be the middle course. There it forms the Oxbow Lake or the meanders, and later it goes to the lower course where it go and meets to the sea. So in the lower course you can find the delta, the mouth of the river, the distributaries. Now northern plain is divided into three sections. The western part of the north plain is referred to as Punjab plains, and they are formed by the Indus and its tributaries. The larger part of this plain lies in Pakistan, and the Indus and its tributaries, the Jhelum, the Chenab, the Ravi, the Beas, and the Satluj originate in the Himalaya. This section of plain is dominated by the Doabs. Doab is made up of two words, do meaning two and ab means water. And similarly, Punjab is also made up of two words, Panj means five and ab means water. So it is also called land of five rivers. Now when we talk about the area of Ganga plain, it extends between Ghaggar and Tista rivers. And the states which it covers are North India, Haryana, Delhi, UP, Bihar, partially Jharkhand and West Bengal to its east, and particularly in Assam lies and Brahmaputra plain. Now, according to the variations in relief features, the northern plain can be divided into four regions. Now, the rivers, after descending from the mountains, deposits pebble in a narrow belt of about 8 to 16 kilometer in width, lying parallel to the slopes of Shivaliks, and this is known as Bhabar. And all the streams disappear in this Bhabar belt. Now, south of this Bhabar belt, the streams and rivers re-emerge, and they create a wet, swampy and marshy region which is known as Terai. Now this was a thickly forested region full of wildlife, but the forests have been cleared to create agricultural land and to settle migrants from Pakistan after partition. Now you need to locate Dudhwa National Park in this region. The largest part of the northern plains is formed of older alluvium, and it lies above the food plains of rivers and presents a terrace-like feature. And this part is known as Bhangar. The soil in this region contains calcareous deposits, which is locally known as Kankar, and the newer younger deposit of the food plains are called Khadar. Now they are almost renewed every year, and they are fertile, and also they are ideal for intensive agriculture. I hope you all understood all the topics taught in this video. Thank you.
Hello.